But one of the things I wanted to do, or maybe have been informally doing or just thinking about for a while now, is it took me about 30 years to realize that like the form that I do was imprinted on me when I was like a really young person in India, like when I was living in Bengal, just absorbing things, absorbing community theater that would happen on the streets, all of this stuff. What I'm doing is small bits of what is called a natak, which is a musical dance drama, which is like the way that people in the community would share news, resolve conflict, entertain each other, create auspicious spaces during particular moments. And, you know, it would involve the whole community, but I only have myself. So I make these little solo notebooks and I write these larger pieces that would have an ensemble if ever I can organize that to happen. But it's basically musical community theater. And that used to be basically an alms-based work. Like if you look at a lot of East Asian cultural spaces, wherever there's artists that are borderline spiritually holding, like basically the people's like mental health counselors, for the lack of a word, you know, what we use as modern terms, that's what they're doing. The monks are doing that. Yeah. They go around and they collect alms, but even the relationship, it was like a recent video I saw, the relationship is not about, oh, here are the poor monks, you will give them some money. It's not like a top-down thing at all. It's a just reciprocity. The monks are giving you an opportunity to practice generosity every day, and practicing generosity and sharing in community and giving the things to hold and build community, which includes culture, spiritual work, all of this stuff, has to be a daily practice. It comes from the people, and they completely obliterate that in most advanced countries because they know how dangerous that is when you have communities that are autonomous and a state needing to extract labor. Definitely really prevalent. And even now, like it's not nearly the amount that, you know, what we know as artists would get anymore. But the tip, what we understand as tip culture, it was like expansive, and it allowed people of a different way of being in the world to be still valued for that. It allowed them to travel and to be free in the way they needed to be. Housing looked different for them. Community looked different for them. We are traveling artists. They're like the touring artists, right? So materially different from like the minstrel artists of the past. So yeah, it's like this weird, like rearranging of how things can be held, but so there's like such a power dynamic involved in it that completely pulls it away from community and takes the responsibility out of community. It should be in the responsibility of communities, but they have pulled by pulling artists away from communities, or pulling communities away from each other so that you can extract individuals as much as possible. That relationship has changed. You have removed the responsibility of people to practice this for themselves and with themselves, you know. So that's my bit on ownership.
Well, thank you for sharing so much. I was writing down some notes as you were talking, and just, yeah, the point about like how institutions, I feel like, yeah, the culture of kind of isolating artists away from communities, like, oh, like do this thing right in the heart of downtown, or like right, you know, where all of the capital is, all the businesses are, instead of in their community. And for artists who are in that position of like, oh yeah, I need the money, but also like, I don't know where this place is. I feel disoriented, and it's just like, yeah, it's like you feel like you have to do that because it's, you know, it's like I need to pay bills, and it's like, oh yeah, this is very public. It'll give me more jobs like this, but not necessarily in the community. And so it's just this economy of artists who have to, yeah, kind of, as they say, like dog and pony show to institutions to get more money or be presented in a certain way in order to get more funding for different things.